Yo, what's good, family and friends? Hey, man, today, right, I want to show you guys how I was able to snipe the market for US30, right? For those people that doesn't know, right, my name is Ray, and me personally, family, right, I love trading indices because it's volatile, and it's also because it's always consistent move, right? So I'm gonna show you guys real quick my chart. Let me share screen real quick. Ooh, yeah. Bam. Play this music for you guys. All right. So, bam, as you guys can see, this is my setup right here. Right. So, today, what happened was, right, the market had opened around this zone right here, right? 9:30 open bell, New York session. Market went up, down, and then it went up after that, and then it went down lower, create grab your liquidity over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just rewind, right? What happened? I think I'm able to. Okay, awesome. So what I'm gonna do, family, is I'm actually gonna go ahead and zoom in real quick, right? So first thing first, the reason why I was looking for a sell, actually I've been looking for a sell since the 29th of March, which was 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, right? Because when all this push up that was happening, I knew that somewhere along the time, right, that the market's gonna go back down. Because as you guys can see, right, I've already pre-marked all the actual area where there's an actual imbalance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys what I would typically do, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and find a new US30, right? So I'm gonna go and click this, reset all that, boom. So this is US30, right? I'm gonna go ahead and rewind this as well. I want to say right over, what's today? The first, right here. So as you guys can see, right, the market is on a bullish move. So if the market is in a bullish move, of course, I'm naturally looking for a buy, right? But what I also understand from this push up, right, from this push right here all the way up, is that when this had happened, we had few imbalance that was created, right? So the first thing first, what you should be doing, right, establish, your actual fibs. So this is my identified low, and that was my identified high right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mark that up for you guys. Down, down, right? I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And I do apologize if I sound weird. I think I'm very congested right now. It's hard for me to hear. But anyway, so I've identified my low and high. So the next step should be placing your fibs from the low to high, right? Because we're looking for buys. But just we're looking for buys, right? But in the meantime, you could also catch the sell if you understand that the market's gonna go down, right? So, of course, you should never go against the market, against the flow, against the trend line. Trend line is your friend. But, if you know how to snipe the market, then you could definitely catch the sell as well. Just because why not, right? Because we're talking about from here all the way down to the zone that I'm hoping for, right? Is literally about 500, 600 pips. So it's like, why wouldn't I try to catch those? So looking at this, right? One thing that I'm going to tell you guys right now is that the market, right? What they teach you guys out there is that, 618 is your golden zone, which I do have marked up as well, on my fibs, and I use 618 as well, right? But understand that that is not the true story behind it, right? So yeah, that is the fact, but it's not the whole, you know, picture, right? The real golden zone when it comes to how the banks trade is actually 786 and 886, right? And I'm going to prove you guys that in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark that up for you guys as so, right? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that background. So this is my golden zone personally, right? Just because this is how the bank trades. So now the next step that you should be looking for, right, is identifying where the smart money concept or this institutional move, I should say, right? What I mean by that is you gotta find where the bank got in the game, right, before the actual push up, before that, the all this move, before this push up right here. Well, I can see already from this side right here, from this push up, is that we have a few, area where, I would what I would call point of interest, right? Their point of interest because, right, the banks got in for a trade against the flow. Therefore, even though they have a buy, right, because they're also trying to win, they also have a sell open, right? And they got in twice. So what they have to do is that they have to close that order. That's how I know that the market's gonna go down, because for them to actually close those orders, they want the market to go down, right? And as you guys can see, anytime you guys see big candlesticks like this, those are institutional move, right? And anytime you guys see small candlesticks like these, those are the retailers, which is us, right? We're coming in the game, trying to participate, trying to make some money, right? The next step that you should be looking for is level of liquidities, right? Level of liquidity simply means money, right? Money that they can easily grab so that they can, of course, transfer the wealth from the mass to specific people, which are the banks, right? I'm going to change the music. I like this better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start marking up, level liquidities. And as you guys can see, right, it's easy to identify them once you start practicing. But there's one right there. There's one over here. There's one right there, right? And I'm talking about right now, I'm marking up the level of liquidity for the buyers, right? Buyers, buyers, right? So as you guys can see, right, that when it comes to trading, there's always two teams, one seller and one buyer, right? And understand the liquidities are on both sides, but the way the market is moving right now is going up. Therefore, there's a lot of people on the buyer side that is winning, right? And as you guys know, the market, right, the banks, what they love to do is they love to go right where they can potentially hurt the most people, right? And also how bad, pretty much how much money they can grab, right? So I'm also going to go ahead and actually mark up the seller's liquidity right here, right there, and right over here, right? The reason why, right, I marked up these specific ones because if you think about it, if I got in for a buy over here, the market has never went back down to that low, so therefore I'm in blues, I'm in profit. Same thing here. If I got in for a buy right here, the market never went that low for them to close me out, kick me out, or or anything like that. So therefore I'm still in blues. Same thing for here. As you guys can see, this is lower than this. So this is higher. So this is higher low, higher low, higher low. Hence to why these are all level of liquidity, right? You guys can also even mark it up like so if you guys want, right? But I'm gonna go and delete that. Oh no, baby. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play some real quick. Bam. So as you guys can see, right, the market had opened right here at 9:30. So this was today, 9:30. So you guys can see it had opened right about here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that up for you guys. Right, you guys can see the market had opened right there. You guys can see that doji candlestick said that it didn't know what it wants to do, right? And what tends to happen on a open bell is that they like to confuse people, right? For example, if their true intention is to go down for sell, what they're gonna do is they're gonna go up real quick. One, right? They have few intentions, right? The first one is to grab liquidity, right? So if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, they want to kick you out, right? Because majority of the time, you know, if you're in for a buy, I mean sell, you probably had moved stop loss, you know, in profit. So, you know, if they push it up, they'll kick you out, and also so that they can have a better entry, right? So as you guys can see, you know, they went up, and a lot of people too who are buyers, because you know they're hoping, right, that this is going to be like an actual, you know, a new trend line. You know, a lot of people would have gotten for buys, and then as you guys can see, the market went down lower instead. So, you know, they would have definitely got you guys, right? One thing that I learned is that when it comes to trading, it's all about being patient. So as you guys can see, this push down right here, right? And by the way, I actually did snipe this entry right here. I sniped that entry right there. But anyways, what had happened was when they pushed it down, they actually grabbed the liquidity on this side and transferred it right here. Same thing for here. You guys can see that this was lower than this too. Therefore, this has been transferred right there. And so this right here is still here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and play this out real quick. I'm gonna go to 5 minutes time frame just because that's where I was at. By the way, based upon this point of interest, this will be my take profit, right? This is take profit 1, and this is my take profit 2, right? I'm gonna go ahead and label that for you guys. Template. Oh no, am I not signed in? Wow. Anyways, it's all good. I'm gonna play this out real quick. Bam. So you guys can see, look, watch this. They pushed the market down and then they pushed it up, right? Why is that? Because what had happened was this initial push up, it cost them money, right? They got in for a buy to do a sell. Therefore, they have to mitigate that area, right? They had to go back and close their orders. So their market went up, right? And so I sniped this area right here. And then shabam, right? Went lower and lower. And as you guys can see, right? So right here. So you guys could have had multiple entries, right? Me personally, actually, I was able to snipe this sell and this buy and then this sell as well. And then, you know, right here, that's where I low-key got played a little bit because I keep hoping that the market is going to turn around. But same time, I also understood that it's supposed to go down just because we have a lot of imbalance. We have a lot of, you know, level of liquidity down here. So there's more money on the bottom side. So as you guys can see, the market had literally closed all the way lower right here, right? So right now, this is the current market, right? So how was I able to snipe this entry right here, right? Well, I was able to snipe this entry because from their previous buy right here, the last institutional move that had happened was this right here, right? So, you know, if they got in for a buy right here to do a sell, that means they have orders sitting right here for buys that is a negative. So what they had to do is that they had to go back up, hence to why we had this massive wick, right? And because of this, right, once the market went up, they were able to close their order. The reason why this went higher than this, because most people would be like, oh, this is a go time right here. You know, break of structure means that I'm going to go ahead and get in for a buy. But what they don't know is that the break of structure is invalid just because you don't see a candlesticks opening or closing above this right here, this wick. So as you guys can see, wick, right, all that means that they ran up money and then they drain it immediately. So I was able to snipe this entry by simply measuring this from this bottom to that high, right? And I got in at the 50%, right? So therefore, I was in drawback for a little bit, but I'm gonna show you guys how much, right? I was in negative drawbacks for only about literally 16 pips. That's it. Then after that, you know, as you guys can see, it's a fair game. Ran all the way to 369 pips in a matter of how long? Let me see. In a matter of an hour. So imagine, you know, getting in for the sniper entry right here, right? But that's how I was able to get this sell. Now looking at it in a buy perspective, right? You guys can see that the point of interest was over here. So you guys can see that it actually broke through that structure. So therefore, this is invalid. So it was just like a level of like, okay, we definitely have to grab this. But what they were aiming for is this right here, right? This and also this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure those for you guys and actually show you guys how I knew to get in for those levels, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this one right here. Boom, boom. So for me, the reason why I knew that the entry, right, the market was going to go down to this zone right here. Look, you guys can see that, right? I'm going to delete this as well. The reason why it literally just touched that zone is one, it's in the 786, which is the golden zone that I mentioned earlier. But also, right, if you guys go on a small, on a 50 minutes time frame, right, you guys can see that we have a, you know, point of interest right here. So same thing like I was doing up there, right? You want to always find the point of interest and measure that 50%. So it's right there, right? This is the high, and then this is the low right here. So this is where they got in to do a sell for them to do a buy. And then whatever the 50% is will be your entry. And this actually had happened when the market had closed. So the market closed, but they got me in for an entry, right? Oh, hold up. See, this is what I don't like sometimes, because look, as you guys can see, 681, right? It's not showing that the market went down to that level. But if I would show you guys this and different, hopefully it shows. Otherwise, I look like a tool. Oh no. So 681, 681. Why? See, look how this is different. See, this is the point of interest on here, but the one that we were just looking at, right, is different. So also, you know, that's one thing I do want to mention, right? Be watchful for what type of broker you're using when it comes to marking up your chart, right? Because sometimes they want to show you the full scope. So anyways, this is the actual, you know, the 50% of that point of interest I was showing you guys. And as you guys can see right here, got in for a trade, right? And immediately got me in and then took off to the high end. So I was only on 7 pips drawback and immediately went up to, and still climbing currently, right? But I got up to 126 pips in a matter of like literally 5 minutes or 15 minutes right here. And then as you guys can see, it's moving sideways now. But the reason why this is moving sideways is because I strongly believe that this is actually going to push lower. Where do I think so? Right here, right? So this is my second entry right here, right? And my last entry would be this right here for a buy. So you guys can see this massive push down. That's pretty solid. You know, that's not us. So whatever the 50% of that would be your next buying opportunity. It should be your last buying opportunity, unless their, you know, their new target is of course lower. So I have a buy pending orders, you know, at this level, and the fact that it's 645, which is close to 650, which is a key level, and same thing here right here, right? This is 616, close to 620, which is a key level as well, right? So, you know, anywhere in between these two at this point would be an amazing entry, right? But I do believe that this is going to push a little bit higher right here, and then it's going to go down, create a W form, right? And then go up and then go lower and then take off. So I expect the market to move as so. Shabam, 50%, go in for a false buy, go lower, right? To right here. Boom, 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 to this zone and then take off. So, you know, a lot of people, right, who are new to the game, you're going to think, oh, you know, this is amazing, guys. You guys see this bottom, went up, shabam, W, yay, we're going to get in for a buy. Psych, this is where they, this is where they usually manipulate the market to go lower to actually close that order right here. And then from there, it's gonna take off. That's how it is, fam. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Like I said, I'm congested, so my voice kind of changed throughout this whole thing. But I hope that you guys got some insight. I do want to go back to what I was trying to show you guys earlier, because that low-key bothers me that, it doesn't show the full picture here, but it definitely does on my other one, right? So like I said, be careful and be watchful. And also what you're marking up here on your trading view, also make sure that, you kind of double mark it on your MT4 or MT5, because majority of the time your broker is also different, right? So boom. Now I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. I do believe that it's not gonna go lower anymore than what it is, that zone right here. Reason being, because I know I have marked it up maybe here. I've marked it up somewhere. Well, the reason why I believe that it's not going to go lower than this right here is because this whole move from this side right here, right? So this push up, all of this is proper. Reason being is because this push up right here, they've already grabbed the liquidity, and that's clearly 50% right here, right? So this side is solid. Everything else here has been like a proper move, because you guys can see it went up, went down, went up. They created imbalance right here, all the way up, and then massive push down. And then this, what we're using right now, this low, actually cleared all of them out. So this whole area is balanced. This whole area is proper. The only imbalance before today was literally this whole zone right here. So I'm gonna show you guys. So before this push down, as you guys can see, what was imbalanced was literally from here all the way down. Well, technically right here, right? And all of this right here is liquidity as well. Anytime you guys see push like this, those are retailers. That's us. So that's a lot of our money that they went ahead and grabbed along with the imbalance, right? Because you have a massive push up, but you're lacking sell. So hence the why they did this today. So I hope you guys got something out of that, man. Stop share screening. But that's all I got for you guys. Peace out.